provide an education that prepares students for 21st century jobs? And you have 2 minutes. Dan.
Well, I don't have a dollar figure that would answer that question. But I will say, this is, and I keep saying this, but this is one area you're going to see very little daylight between commissioners or commissioner candidates of either party. We currently have, I think it's the 4th highest supplement in the state. Orange County's higher, and Wake County's higher, and probably Mecklenburg. And every year, that number keeps going up. We've made sure we put that in the budget. As a matter of fact, when I was a commissioner, we put that in the budget even when the school board didn't ask for it, because we realized that teacher pay is very significant. But we also realized, in addition to what we can do with the supplement, we wanted to find a way to have a merit-based bonus system on top of that supplement. So working with the school board, working with the superintendent, we were able to put a one-of-a-kind bonus system in place that worked for the 1 year that we did it. And then during that year, we realized, or the superintendent of the Board of Education realized that it needed some tweaks, that it was very hard to administer, but the idea was good, and wanted to continue that type of a bonus system. And I think there's still something in place today that kind of grew from that idea. So we need to focus not just on the supplement, but other ways to help compensate our teachers.
Well, I know if I were commissioner, I would have to come through. We've got a lot of educators in my family, and my daughter-in-law in particular. But one thing I hear mostly is supplies. It seems like teachers everywhere are having to go beyond to get their own supplies, and that would be one area that I think the bonus would really help if we could do that, as Brian mentioned. And I understand that we have come up quite a bit in state rankings as far as teacher pay in North Carolina, but I think here in Chatham, I think we've got extra demand on us with the new schools and new school bonds and all, and we're going to have to. It needs to be one of our top priorities when it comes to jobs and new jobs. And, that would be top of the list for me. That's our future, our kids. I realize that.
Thanks. Because we're so close to Durham, Chapel Hill, and Wake County schools, the problem we face is that many of our teachers leave Chatham schools and go and work there. At least that's the potential threat. And so even though we're close to these counties, we don't have the same tax base nor the same tax rate. So it is hard for us to compete with our supplement. And we call it a supplement because the state primarily pays the salary of its teachers. And during the Republican takeover of the legislature over the past 10 years, they've reduced the number of teaching assistants and other supportive positions. So our teachers are working a lot harder for the salaries that they do have, and so it's critical that we're able to increase the supplement. And we've met the supplement this year only because the plan from Raleigh to make school classroom sizes smaller in elementary schools was not enacted, and so we're kind of living on borrowed time right now for our supplement. Next year we're going to have to confront this question head on, and I'm in support, if it's necessary, to keep and maintain our salary supplement and maybe even close the gap on the supplement that our neighboring counties have of increasing revenues, that is to say increasing taxes for the purposes of improving our salary standing. Why? Because if we don't, we're going to lose a lot of our best qualified teachers to neighboring counties. And a longitudinal study done by SAS, where they studied cohorts of students over the course of 20 to 30 years shows that it's the seniority, the experience of the teacher in a classroom that is the best indicator of both socioeconomics, gender, any other indicator to show how much that child learns in the 180 days of a typical school year. And so it's vital to us, and it's really priceless that we're able to maintain the best teachers that we have here now and also attract others to come in who have experience. So I think the teacher supplemental pay issue is a very critical one, and I'm glad that everybody acknowledges its importance on this board. It shows we have good people running for office.
I could just say ditto, because it's the teacher supplement is a critical part of our budget. We certainly encourage our school board and our superintendent to do the very best job they can in budgeting, but we respond with what they really need, and so don't shortchange your schools. We are, as Jim mentioned, we are building, and we just borrowed money to build 2 new schools. The first high school since the 1970s. Early 1970s in Chatham County will be built on Lake Jordan, south of Highway 64 on Seaforth. This is a major, huge budget item, and we're also building a new elementary school right in Briar Chapel area. So those are 2 schools, because we can't add any more trailers anymore, or mobile units. They're not called trailers, but mobile units. We don't have room physically to add another mobile unit in the Chatham school system. So we are in construction mode. We hope to have the new elementary school within 2 and the high school open within 3 years. So, and our teacher supplements, as Jim Crawford said, we want our teachers to stay. And they're staying if they like the school system, and they feel well served by the school system and the county government, and we want them to continue here because that seniority, length of time makes them better teachers. So we do not discourage supplement, and we will certainly never nickel and dime our school system to cut a penny here, because every penny invested is dollars in the future. So yes, support the supplement.